Today, we're going to be installing MySQL Server and Workbench for Windows. Now, if you're on Mac or Linux, check the description down below. I'll leave instructions on how to do that in the description down below. So if you're on a Windows machine, we can go ahead and head to Downloads. Now once you're on the download screen, you scroll all the way down to where it says MySQL Community GPL Downloads. Click on that link right there. And then you can click on the MySQL installer for Windows. And then we're presented with two different installer options. This is the web installer, where it will only download the required things that it needs, or the entire package. We're going to go ahead and download the web version because we don't need everything in the full package. Then we're just going to click no thanks, just start my download. Now once the download is complete, we can go ahead and open it up in the folder, and we go ahead and launch it. Accept the UAC as many times as you need. Now comes the installing part. Now we have multiple different options we can choose from. We're going to go ahead and choose custom because we only need specific things. So we'll click custom and we'll choose next. Now we can choose what products we actually want. So we definitely want a MySQL server. So we can go ahead and we can choose the 8.0 server, and we could just choose the most recent one here. The most recent one right now is 8.0.36. We can go ahead and pass that over. Then in applications, we need the MySQL Workbench as well. And again, we can just choose the most recent one and pass that over. Now you can also download documentation, some examples and stuff, but we're not going to do that today. So let's just go ahead and install those two. So we'll click next. Then we'll go ahead and click execute. Now we do need to install the Microsoft Visual C++ redistributable that is required for us to install this. So we'll go ahead and agree to the terms and we'll install that real quick. Then we can go ahead and close out that window and it should say install done. Now we can click next and we can click on execute. Now it shows that we've downloaded both of those. We can click next and it's ready to install. So we can go ahead and click execute. Once the install is complete, we can go ahead and click on next. Now we need to configure the development server. So we have three different options here. We have the development computer, a server computer, or a dedicated computer. We're going to choose the development computer because this option just requires much less RAM. So we're going to choose development computer, and then we are going to basically keep everything the same. The port is the default port. We're going to keep that all the same. We can go ahead and click next now. Now this is asking us the type of authentication we want to use. We are doing a brand new install, so we don't have to support an old authentication method. So we can go ahead and choose the default option here and click next. Now we can just type in our password. And then we can click on next. Now this page is just asking us if we want to set up MySQL as a service. I would recommend keeping this page checked so that way we don't have to manually start our server every time we restart our computer. Then we can go ahead and click on next. And this page we can just go ahead and click on next. It's just asking about file permissions. And then we can go ahead and execute the install. Now once that's done, you can go ahead and click on finish. We can click on next, and then we can click on finish as well. And it's going to start MySQL Workbench after we start up. So if we click finish, we should get the MySQL Workbench pop up as soon as we click on that finish button. Now we've already got a local instance here. Now if you don't have this already, you can go ahead and click on the plus icon here. You can create a name for it, so we could say this is the main instance, and we can keep this all the same, the host name the same, and the port the same, along with the user because we're just using the root default user. And then we can click on store and vault. And we can type in our password and we can click OK. Now, if we hit test connection, we should get an OK to go. So we're good to go on that. Now we can see that new instance has popped up right here. Now, if we double click on that, we can go ahead and see that our MySQL Workbench is installed, and we can type out MySQL commands. So if we say show databases and we click on run, that should show us all of our databases, and that is how you can install MySQL Server and Workbench. Now, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section down below. I'll answer any questions that you have. Also, again, if you are on Linux or Mac, I will leave instructions on how to do that down in the description down below. Also, next video, we are going to dive deep into MySQL, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, if you did like the video, make sure you slap a like on it. Check out the full playlist, link is right down there. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.